Okay, so let's talk about time signatures. Let me start by saying that time signatures are completely subjective. You as a musician have complete control over how you want to use time signatures. So first, let's talk about what time signatures are not. They do not dictate the feel. They do not dictate where you place the accents. They do not dictate the tempo. The only function of the time signature is to establish the relationship between the beat and the rhythm for any given piece of music. Now, that's not to be confused with common or best practices. So time signatures have gotten intertwined with certain feels and certain styles of music because they're used very often inside of those tempos or inside of those feels. But they in and of themselves do not dictate that feel, if that makes sense. Now, this person asked, why do time signatures like 2/4 or 6/8 even exist? They exist because they're simply choices, much like a painter has 4 different kinds of blues to choose from. As a musician or as a composer, you have the choice to decide how you want to write your music. Now let's assume that I'm writing a piece of music and the whole piece is in a triplet feel. Da 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 da. I could write that in 2/4 time signature, and every measure is basically going to be 8th note triplets, like this. So that's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, right? Now I could also choose to write this piece in 6/8, which looks almost identical, right? So now I have 6 8th notes. Each 8th note gets 1 beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The difference is I don't need the tuplet, which is up here when I'm in 6/8. Now inside this piece, let's assume you have a measure that goes 1 and 2 and da 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 da. Okay? In 2/4, I could do this, make those 16th note triplets, but now I have to nest a 16th triplet tuplet on the end or middle of the 8th note triplet. In 6/8, however, I simply just have to write 16 triplets and you get the same sound. So you have this, which is like a triplet nested inside of a triplet, or you just have regular 16 triplets. So in this case, 6/8 is the better practice. It's the better way to think of it. But both ways are correct. Now these are the kind of foundations that I go over with my students a lot. So much so that I took the evaluation that I've always done with my private students and I've made it available on my app. Now I've noticed that the algorithm tends to spank me every time I mention this, but you can access that challenge through my Schmo file. Disclaimer, most people don't have clarity when it comes to these basics, so this challenge will really put a magnifying glass on that.